You gotta feel the wrath of my stand echoes. Now, I gotta say, this is where we're starting to see in JoJo's, like, Diamond's Unbreakable, this is where we start seeing a lot more of the uniquest stands in the series, where it's like, you're thinking like, oh, like, sound, like, what can you do with that? And it's like, this already proves immediately what this can do. Like, I gotta say, we finally getting to see Koichi stand, it's pretty much awesome. So I know a lot of people like thought that this episode was going to start off pretty messed up actually, when you see Koichi like riding around on his bike going, yeah, it's a lovely day, oh dear, I just run over a cat, like, and you hear the cat like put its hand up, there's blood like in the bag, and you're like, oh god, oh, like I'm telling you, like part 4 is like a hot, like, especially in most of the JoJo's you've already experienced, it is a terrible place to be if you're an animal lover. Dogs, cats, birds, everything gets shitted on in this arc. And saying that he met up with a certain dickhead known as Kobayashi, who unfortunately happens to be a stand user using the stand known as the Lock. Now, I want to say some funny trivia for this is that during this arc, actually when he first appeared, he was actually really big and tall, and he was actually kind of normal size. He wasn't actually like the same size as like Koichi, like kind of like right about the same time, like a little bit of them, like another little bit of the midget kind of thing. So it's actually a little bit weird because like later on in the like part, for some reason, he turned into a little bit more than I think I remember. Like when I saw that character, I was like, wait, who is this? Like, who is this character? I think I remember a lot of people saying like, oh, due to him being like humble at kind of like the end, that's what made him go small. But it's like, no, just later part 5 for some reason, he just decided to become like a complete dwarf the same size as Koichi. And this piece of shit pretty much blackmailing Koichi, saying, hey, don't you feel bad? You know, you run that cat down, have you know, give me some money and all that. That was my cat and all. And it's like, this piece of shit as his stand, which I can pretty much say is, I'd like to say, one of the weakest stands in the series, the Lock. It's like, oh, you have this giant heavy lock on side of you and it makes you feel guilty. How the more like guilt that you get and all that, you feel like, oh, I can't live on it anymore. And it's like, out of all of them, because like even like he tried this shit as well with Okuyasu. I was like, Okuyasu punched the shit out of him and he purposely like had one of his big teeth fall out and he's like, oh, I actually kind of felt a little bit bad for that. And even Josuke like proving this shit wrong. It's interesting though because like for this episode as well, like Josuke didn't have literally near anything to do in this episode as well. It was entirely on Koichi, and seeing that his stand activated echoes, which at first you would think like when he came into his house it was like blackmailing him and like putting all this shit, and he did some sneaky shit, putting like a receipt in there, trying to make it feel like he took like 500 grand away from him. But seeing that stand echoes hatch out from the egg with the ability to actually make sounds, or like you think like he, like out of all like the sounds that it does, it was like, oh, it doesn't look like a physical stand, you know, what the hell's going on here? And finding out that it's like you just punch or make any kind of noises and it will kind of reflect back and it will make these noises for you, and it's like, ah, my ears, ah. And they even actually, when his mother was gonna kill himself, even putting out into the sound thing is like, no, believe in me, you know, like, you know, believe in me, Mom, and all that, you gotta like trust me and all that. It's like, yeah, that's the situation that you've got to do about that. It's like, you know, I love like Koichi's stand, like, since it's like a very unique one compared to like how like Okuyasu's and Josuke's are very physical, and also as well a healing one. His one actually just has like this very unique ability that could be absolutely annoying and just like absolutely just put the person on their knees. Like the best thing about like this guy's like stand though, out of everything, like when we got like Kobayashi's like stand, like the most thing about it is that its durability, that one, you can't like take it down just like that. It's like near impossible to like beat up, and that especially as well, its range is phenomenal. Even if like he's at like, you know, it doesn't disappear unless, you know, you have that guilt disappear from you. Although like on like destructibility and like kind of speed and everything, it's not exactly, you can see it, as you saw on the like the actual graph itself, it showed that it isn't very high at all, and it is probably one of the weakest stands out of there, but the way he makes it work is very unique. Overall, I loved it when he activated his stand. You got the Super Saiyan like Gohan hair like turning up. I love that shit. It's like, that was a very unique thing about Goichi. Whenever he activates his stand, he always gets like this Super Saiyan hair come up, and I think that's like a great references there. Overall though, like, just what can I say, I love this arc and all that. I love like this episode. I thought like Koichi's stand is a very unique one, and just seeing that it uses all these sound effects and it has all the effects blaring out, and just how like unique the art was in this episode, I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Let me know anything in the comment section down below though. What do you guys think about Koichi's stand? Did you really enjoy this like episode a lot? Did you think this was probably one of the weaker episodes in the series? I think a lot of people probably might not like this one a lot because it didn't actually focus a lot on Josuke and Okuyasu. This one was heavily needed for obviously seeing like Koichi, since we want to know like exactly what his stand was, and I'm looking forward to them actually changing the opening next week because they are probably going to add like Koichi with his stand next week. So it's going to be the same opening, but it's probably going to have different versions on it to obviously add in echoes. So if you love this episode as much as I did, then you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, you hit all that beautiful stuff and all that, even with like the bullshit that's happening on my channel at the moment. I still want to do videos for you guys. It would be unfair for me, like, just like, oh, I'm just going to take off a couple of weeks and all that while this is happening. So I am trying to sort things out on that side, just a quick little update on people on the whole strike thing, but like, yeah, you guys still deserve it, like my reviews and all that, because, you know, that's the whole point. I want to talk about these because I like doing them, and I know you guys really enjoy them, and it'd be super shitty if I just left you guys hanging. That's all for me though. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.